today we have a very special guest with us, Madeleine Shaw, and she's going to show us the ultimate, basically busy person's bowl, which is a noodle bowl with all the different veggies. I think we've got 6 different types of veggies in here. So what are we making?
So we're making a buckwheat noodle bowl that has edamame, red cabbage, some chopped up carrots, spring onions, and then we're going to team it with a beautiful miso dressing that's like miso paste.
Miso. Oh, obsessed with miso.
I think if you have to have one condiment in your fridge, it's got to be miso.
Completely put it into like rice, you just like plain brown rice, put miso in, it's amazing.
Transforms it. So yeah, we're going to do a miso dressing that has like tamari, maple syrup, bit of vinegar, some lime juice in there, just to really, bring out the flavours of all the dish, and all those vegetables can soak into it.
Amazing. Okay, so, and this is 20 minutes start to finish?
This is a 20-minute dish. Like, I'm a working mum who doesn't have that much time to cook, so it's like my go-to dish when I just need tons of vegetables in my life. It doesn't take long. My son loves it because it's really colourful and he gets stuck in as well.
Amazing. Okay, so what is step 1?
Okay, step 1 is we're going to toast the cashew nuts.
Okay.
We'll just toast them for a few minutes until they're golden brown, then leave them to the side to cool. We're going to rinse the buckwheat noodles. This just helps remove the starch. And then we're going to pop the noodles into a big pot of boiling water and cook them for about 6 minutes. Get a pan nice and hot and pop in a little bit of sesame oil, and we're going to pour in some edamame beans and just warm them until they get nice and golden for a few minutes.
Okay, so cabbage next up.
Yeah, so we've got cabbage, carrots, bok choy, sugar snap peas, and some spring onions that we're going to be putting in. So lots of different colourful vegetables.
And if you're at home and you open your fridge and you have 1 or 2 of these and not some of the others, could you chuck other stuff in as well?
100%. Got some courgettes left over.
Come in as well. Who would come in who wants to hear all about it?
No.
Okay, yeah, so you could chuck in like a red pepper or a courgette.
Exactly.
Spinach.
All of these, as long as what we're trying to do is like julienne them. So if you've got like a mandolin, that's really helpful in terms of just shredding it really quickly. But we're just trying to get vegetables to chop up really thin so they're nice and crunchy because we're keeping them raw, but they'll absorb all the flavour.
Oh, nice. Okay, so we're not cooking the veg in here.
No, exactly. So we're just slicing these really thinly down there.
Okay.
So there's a lot of chopping to do, but this is also going to last really well. A bit like a slaw in the fridge. It will just keep absorbing the flavours. It'll be like perfect for the lunchbox the next day.
So you can make double the amount.
100%.
And then keep everything and use it, as you said, for the next day lunchbox.
Yeah, amazing. Perfect for that. We're going to slice up the carrots as well, the sugar snap peas and the pak choi.
Okay, so we're using sweet white miso in the dressing, and I wanted to ask, because I know it's a question, honestly, that I have myself, but also I know lots of our readers have. Different types of miso, different occasions. So why sweet miso today?
So I want to use the white sweet miso just because we want this dressing to be a bit sweeter. We're using some maple syrup to sweeten it up a little bit more.
Because it's a lot lighter in taste, that one, isn't it, than the brown?
Exactly, and you can get them like fermented with barley, you can get them fermented with chickpeas, and I think it's just about mixing up, but I normally use white for more sweeter dishes and then brown for...
richer, heavier.
Exactly, more like a stew or a soup or something like that.
Nice, okay, there we go everyone. Now you know when to use your miso. Okay, so what are we putting with our miso?
So we've got a bit of miso paste, and we're whisking together tamari, rice wine vinegar, sesame oil, maple syrup, and lime. And then finish it off by grating in some ginger and stirring well.
Okay, so that literally took 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's so simple.
And then with this, you could chop more and then you can dress this and then keep this in the fridge.
Yeah, and this will keep for like 3 to 4 days.
Okay,
because
amazing.
It's like a slaw that just
so
keeps
it
getting
gets
better.
softer and kind of like sweeter and yummier.
Exactly. So we've cooked the noodles and then rinsed them afterwards, and that again removes more of the starch.
If it was cold and you wanted to have this warm, you could just gently stir fry these, couldn't you? Put them in your edamame pan, a little bit of sesame oil.
Yeah, it would be fantastic like that, exactly. So yeah, you can kind of make it your own with this dish, but yeah, you could heat it up, warm it. You wouldn't really need to add anything to it, especially with the dressing. You've got the oil in there already.
Really lightly saute it just to bring a bit of heat in.
and then we're just going to top that with some of the edamame.
Yeah.
So we're putting the cashews in, and I think the key thing with toasting nuts is to toast them and then let them cool.
Yeah.
Because if you eat them immediately, they become a bit chewy.
Totally.
And it's just not very
You need
delicious
that bit
at
of
all.
crunch. But also toasting brings out all the flavour, so it is worth using that extra kind of 2 or 3 minutes to toast them.
Okay, so I've just put a little bit of coriander on, and then the final touch is the dressing. So just give it a nice stir at the end and then just pour it on.
I'm very excited to try this.
It looks so good.
I know it does, and I'm obsessed with that kind of dressing, and these noodles are like my best thing.
I love noodles, just make a dish, and they're just the best thing to have around.
On hand,
they?
exactly. That dressing.
So good. I'm like, you can use that dressing on different things. You could like you said, stir it through some rice. You can kind of put it on top of like any salad, any type of vegetables to make it like slightly Asian like tasting.
Just even like a tray of like simple roast veg if you don't know what to do. When you're really busy, what are your kind of like 5 top tips? Things you make, any other recipes or just like combos that you go to to kind of inspire you?
Ooh. I think definitely anything miso related. I'm also a big fan of harissa.
Yes.
So I have a jar of harissa in the cupboard, which I'll just like mix with like roasted vegetables, any kind of grains. That's always a go-to. I always have coconut milk, a can of coconut milk, just to make up a quick curry. I think is always something that I have.
And in that case, so what are the things, like if you have to have 10 things always in your cupboard, you know when you get home and from work and you're tired and then you open up your cupboard and you're like, right, I've got X, Y, and Z, that means I know I can just chuck this together.
Yeah.
What are your kind of 10 staples?
Probably always avocado, because it's just the perfect topping.
It adds to everything. Yeah.
Carrots, because you can have them for like 3 weeks in your fridge and still use them.
Totally.
And I actually am one of those people that loves an old carrot, like a chewy old.
Really?
Yeah, I love a chewy old carrot.
Okay. I have to say I give my really old carrots to Austin. It's like the ultimate carrot man.
So yeah, always have coriander.
Yeah.
I think that's like a go-to. And then the condiments, harissa and miso. Sesame oil I cook with a lot, and then olive oil as well. And then loads of ginger, garlic and chilli. I put in almost most dishes, so I just love having them, and I keep them in the freezer so they don't go off. So I'll often just have like a big chunk of ginger in the freezer, and then I just grate it off frozen.
And then are there any other recipes that you're kind of massive fan of that you make a lot?
I think I try and kind of mix it up with like what's in season. I get like a veg box delivery every week, so that's quite nice. I'll be like, I'll be like, ooh, this squash is in season, so like how could I cook with it and stuff. So I'll normally have like the bases of a particular soup, whether it's like garlic, onion, ginger and chilli, and I love smoked paprika as well. And then I'll like put a new vegetable into it. So I think it's almost getting the basis of specific recipes and then just trialing new seasonal vegetables.
You said like with this, you keep the noodles, keep the nuts, keep the dressing, and then you could put literally anything into it.
100%.
Or even like if you don't have noodles, use rice. Like rice in this would be so yummy as well.
Yeah, and then like Brussels sprouts.
Finely chopped Brussels sprouts. I know everyone hates Brussels sprouts, but finely chopped Brussels sprouts like this, that kind of julienne style, so good. Like a Brussels sprout salad can be amazing, instead with all that flavour in it.
Exactly.
And same with dressings, like you could make a really big portion of that dressing that we did today, which is so flavoursome, and just keep it in the fridge. And then like if you're struggling for a work lunch, you could literally just do like tofu, rice, like avocado, some rocket, and then just chuck that dressing on, and you would have something amazing and such a like easy peasy.
100%. And something I've been doing recently, because I've been so inspired by your podcast on reducing food waste, is on Sunday night I do just a big tray bake of roast vegetables, all the leftover vegetables in the fridge, because that will last a few days, and roast vegetables go with absolutely everything.
Completely. I did the same way, like open up my fridge last night and I was like, right, I've got a quarter of a cabbage, half a fennel, like half a courgette, a quarter of butternut squash, and I think you sometimes look at that and you're like, oh, what's dinner? He doesn't look that it doesn't always look that inspiring, but actually, as you said, like if you roasted that all up and then just chuck that over some rice, some noodles, something, or like into a salad, you could use it in any which way, but it stops it from going to waste. It also means sometimes you have different pairings as well.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, thank you so much
Thank
for coming
you.
to share this.
Pleasure.
You guys have to try it. Let us both know what you think. And happy Sunday, everyone.
Happy Sunday.